Hello, again. My mother came by. Well, we met at the gas station. She brought me some food. I haven't had a warm meal in I don't know how long. I have lukewarm tuna. Oh, mama. And hold up. Apparently, I have to shower in the river. She brought me some cleansing wipes. 96. Extra large cleansing wipes. Some healing ointments for my skin, because since I haven't been showering, it's been a little. She got me a toothbrush. I've been using the jail toothbrush. This is the haul. Alright, this is the haul. Eczema relief, right here. Oh, and she also got me Pert Odor Triple Action Daily Moisturizing Shampoo and Conditioner. So I think Head and Shoulders, nice. I needed that. I needed that badly. And then we have some lotion. We don't have any body wash. I think she thought that, or probably not, everything's sectioned off. But we'll use that, the Perts, as soap. But I think she told me that I should take a shower, I should take a bath in the river. And I was like, there's a faucet right there somewhere, right over there, which I've already washed my hair in. And what the heck is that guy looking at? And I was saying I'd rather just go on the take a shower in the faucet instead of jumping into the river. And then she was like, she said something about running or corriendo, and I was like, oh, we're running? All right. And then she filled up my gas tank, put $85 in it. So that should last us a while. When's the last time she put some money in it? Like a week and a half ago? Something like that. I don't have any floss. I could go for some carrots. You know, when I was younger, my mom used to make caldo all the time. And she would put zucchinis in it. I never liked zucchinis. But caldo was one of those things that we would eat. Also, I think, did you guys know that pozole is apparently like has its origins in cannibalism? I believe, possibly, maybe. There's this idea of she recommended getting gas tomorrow. And again, the idea of tomorrow, sometimes I get caught in the loop of tomorrow. And as we were reading Capitalism and Schizophrenia, there was she called me at the section where it says that like something crescendos or something along those lines, and she called me at that very specific moment where the momentum of the moment was able, with the momentum of the moment, I was able to sell the idea or flow with the idea that like now was the perfect time to get gas. And I asked her why gas fluctuates like that, like from one day to the next. Why is it that like if tomorrow I'm in a different mood than I was today at this specific moment when I asked for gas and felt like I could get something in return? You get what I'm saying? Okay, so we're probably going to bathe closer to sunset, I'm assuming, because she did reference, she also referenced the fact that a police officer that she was friends with had called her and asked her who was driving the Escalade because the tabs were expired, and they were up at Seminary Hill, and she told them that it was me. So yeah. Oh, also, she was going to, she was in a hurry because she had to go to a garage sale with my aunt and my uncle, Natalia and Lawrence, at the church. And the other, during my time at Fiddler's, during my time going from place to place, trying to find electricity, before I had this car, I saw that they were setting up a garage sale, and I went up to them, and my uncle looked relatively worried about me seeing him. And yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. 67897. Wow, that is a license plate. remember when I was going through my trial, and I couldn't sleep one day or something, or I was just driving around wondering about the religion, wondering about my place within the religion, wondering about all of it. Because again, I had found out that even people within the, like, neighbors had pets and stuff. And I went over to his house and I asked him about the Tower of Babel. I asked him about the religion and what he thought of the religion and all of that. And just progressively, I don't know, the idea, I keep saying, like, I keep wondering why was my mother so sad when we were talking in McDonald's. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say. But it doesn't make sense because, again, we go into that thing of, like, mother calling me ungrateful for not being happy about the idea that instead of just throwing someone to the furnace, you would do all of that. And again, I understand the ritual. I understand there is beauty in that, but equinox. CRS 3282. Arisa Yuki. Whoa. Part of me wants to keep eating. Part of me wants to save it. But I don't even know where's a microwave? There's gotta be a microwave somewhere. I'm gonna eat one more taco while it's still warm. One more taco. Daylight pick a fight with a stranger. I've been saving up my anger. pick a fight with a stranger. I've been saving up my anger. I was just thinking about my wife and the idea of choice, and how in January 6th, when I watched Sentenced to be a Hero, I was essentially condemned to start this journey. Which is something that I was like looking for permission to do, if I'm being honest, but I was thinking about that and how I listened to myself. I was thinking about my wife and how she posted a few days after that, we have a choice. And like a silly little thing, there's no way I can confirm this or anything, but I thought it would be cute if, because I'm not able to articulate all my feelings towards what I feel for someone, perhaps some media explained this or that to her, and she held that throughout these years, saying, you know, we don't have a choice. This is what God said, and even if, you know, he were to die in obscurity, he is God, and, you know, but, well, I'm trying to figure out when would be the best time to wash myself. I think after this taco. Do you think it's because I mentioned the swan? You're like, it's time. I got my silver spoon back. Alright. Okay. That was delicious. Thank you, Mother. Appreciate it. I do need some floss, though. That is quite serious. Crying. Good girls, good girl. Nice. You know what that just reminded me of? There's this like medical thing, this medical kind of like balloon that goes around, and hey, that's the guy from Fiddlers. Really nice. Okay. Perhaps he was a loyal dude. Okay, yeah, it's getting really hot. I'm starting to sweat. All right. This is all garbage. I'm gonna have to use all that stuff, aren't I? Okay, one thing we're not doing is we're not using the river water to brush our teeth. That we won't do. CSA 7550. Nice. Yeah, honestly, that guy always like gave me a weird something or another. He was like my twin, my polar opposite, something like that. I remember his face is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Put all this stuff. CVS. Nice. CVS. Do you see VS? Okay. We got time. Ooh, I'm gonna take the Swan. Also, I think I found a place where to shower. Away from everybody. So we'll do that.
Right.
What happened to my other towel? There's the Swan. I'm so ADHD, bro. Brah. Oh. I'm getting good at healing. Daytime pickup fight with a stranger. I've been saving up my anger. Paper like pennies in my pocket. Whisper like a runaway train and I lost it. Ooh, ooh, I hear them crying. Good girls. actually, if you guys will indulge me, I don't want to walk all the way there. So we're gonna drive. I'm very glad. All right, so I have to figure out how to wash myself with you guys. Yes. Hello. Honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to dipping into the water because I'm sticky. I usually take all of my stuff with me just because it stresses me out. If my car gets broken into, at least I have my computer and my electronics, right? She was pretty. Okay, I have my keys, I have my vape. My phone is overheating, let me tell you. Okay. Got everything? Yes. She was pretty. She had 2 daughters. Which again, these ideas of everything. So I keep talking to you guys about like I literally said in that egg video, you guys are my children. And how am I to say that when the Bible uses their own depravity to weaponize their own thing and project it onto the body without organs? Or something along those lines. I don't know. I never went to school. should have done it earlier. It's less warm now. I can already feel how it's gonna bite. It is cool though. I was thinking about the idea. I was talking about Hayden earlier. Also, my mother. The Escalade was something that she got back in 2016. And within the context of the religion, God is supposed to come down on a white cloud or something along those lines. And I think the Escalade is that. Or a caravan. I don't know. I haven't gotten far enough into the Bible to know. Or maybe it was mentioned in passing and I don't really remember. But for her to know where we were headed as well, losing her home, losing our childhood home where we grew up from 2013 onward up until 2025. I have to pee. All right. There's people right there. Okay, careful here. Oh, rumbling. What's all the rumbling? Oh, goodness. Exactly. Okay. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Shrimp. Ugh. Look at this. There's the river though. So if we go here, that's the wrong way. There's a person right there. Okay. I used to come here all the time with my family. And we used to cross this river. We used to swim where I swam with you guys. I think there's someone over there. Trust me, guys, okay? We're getting lost in the weeds, but just trust, okay? See this trail? There's a trail. Ow! Not to say that this was not here last time. You guys are being ridiculous. I scoped out the area a few days ago because I needed a pee. Oh my goodness, please. Be cool, just be cool. Yeah, all right. Here we go. Here we are. Oh. So this river meets that river. This river. Whistle like a runaway train and I lost it. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, if you guys will give me a second, I do need to pee so incredibly badly. 1 second. Enjoy the river. I do have a feeling I'm going to be cold. I'm not taking my shorts off because you guys are sick, and also because I don't know why I'm doing this. Don't let me forget my keys are next to my water, alright? What is the obsession with the wilderness? Not to say nature isn't important and capitalism just destroys nature, but like, again, this idea of oh my god, it's so cold. Oh my god, it's so cold!
know, I always complain about water pressure. Like every home I've ever been that I've lived in, the water pressure. I think this is adequate water pressure, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my. You have no idea how good it feels to wash my hair. Oh. You know, to be fair, I believe this is how people used to wash themselves in the past. Maybe not directly in the middle of the river, because the current is a little crazy. And I think the waters are a little warmer here. Nope, still cold as shit. All right. Oh my God, so cold. All right, conditioner. There's a guy, the guy that was fishing with his family is just right there. You know what's fascinating? My mother gave me all these supplies. So like, she knows that I'm gonna shower in the river. And anybody that talks shit about it, I hope she eats their ass. Alright. One last thing. I was gonna do something and then oh yeah. How we doing? I'm running as fast as I can to you, my beloved. Who is you? I have no idea, but I'll find you. I'm gonna get you. Oh, look, it's my egg. Yeah, I think this is gonna be the setup for now on. But like when the sun is directly above me. Actually, no, because that's gonna burn me to shit. Oh, this is gonna suck. I have to wash my back. 1 sec. Ah! You know, when Joe Rogan started talking about cold showers, I thought it was the stupidest thing in the entire world. And I was right. Okay, listen. I'm not here to disparage people that don't have any other options. Obviously, I don't have any other options as well. But like, I don't know. Perhaps he was getting me ready for this, you know, prophecy and all that. But, oh, cold. Okay. Now, we brush our teeth. Oh, there's floss. No, there isn't. It's a cap for the... Actually, I brought water. We have distilled water. Judge me, okay? Judge me. Oh, where should I sit? I'm gonna sit right there. You know, sometimes when I'm sitting in front of the camera, I'll be like, the proportion from my torso to my arms makes me feel like the Beast Titan. And all my muscles are like inside of here because I focus on the feeling instead of everything else. I don't know. To be fair, my brother is ripped in both senses. What else? I was gonna say something. Oh, there's a bee. Oh goodness. Maybe, was this prepared for me? Perhaps. Oh. Nice. I brushed my teeth earlier today. Where am I? See me? Where am I? Okay, yeah. I brushed my teeth earlier today, and there was so much blood. I was using a toothbrush from jail. That's all I had. You guys hear that owl? Oh, we got that Spider-Man toothbrush going. I was thinking about how all my stupid quips as I'm complaining about showering in the river. Like, regardless of your living situation, you should still want to, like, take care of yourself and be clean, right? It's not really enjoyable to be sticky all the time. Ideally, you know, you'd have shelter. does kind of bring into question the Bible and capitalism and communism and science. Because, like, I keep saying, with, like, I keep trying to use the language of the Bible and say I'm a Zionist. And I mean, I've come to find out that I think I am. At the same, like I said before, you know, Zionism and communism, I think, go hand in hand in the same vein that capitalism and Nazism go hand in hand. And there is a difference between, no, because like even then, like science is the pure distillation of these Zionism with holes. There's always holes. Why are there holes? All right. I'm gonna sit down right here. We can talk while I put on some lotion. Again, like, I've been interacting with people from YouTube. I've been interacting with, like, for the last few years, I've been interacting with everybody from YouTube. And I lose myself within that. Because the system can only talk about capitalism for some reason, and very, very rarely communism. And even then, like, we can't even get to the point of talking about communism and capitalism, because once we get to that point, there's issues with both, even with communism. The depravities of humanity and what it means for a leader to dictate the world. If that leader is amoral, then that means that the society that he creates is also going to be immoral. And it's very important to keep that in mind. So ideas like communism are fallible. Fallible is the word, I think. Healing ointment and eczema relief. He's got eczema. It is pretty cool though. I've always had dandruff my entire life. Oh dude, I have 2 pimples, all like parallel to each other right here. It's like devil horns are growing out of me. No, I'm gonna use the eczema relief. I don't want to double stack them. Oh goodness. It is kind of crazy while I'm here. the world goes on, the project continues to be, and maybe like this is like satire, or maybe this is like horror or something. The idea that I can be here by the river, complaining about all this, continuing to do it, knowing that it proliferates the end of the world. All right. We're going to shave, and I think that's it. I think we're done. I don't know if it's if I don't like this razor or if I'm just shaking. I'm trying not to get razor burn though. That guy's fishing. There is kind of a funny thing about the word razor. For one, you can raise it to the ground. For two, I'm fishing, I guess, or I'm raising you guys. Raise her. Again, the dichotomy of an androgyny. I like that word. I don't use it enough. I don't get enough opportunities to. We're stuck in the game of gender. I'm sitting on a stone and it's pushing directly up my butt, which is not very enjoyable. You know, Facebook's live feature would be so cool if it would allow you to keep the videos there instead of having to download and re-download and then disappearing after 30 days. I have them on YouTube, but it would be nice to like have like a museum gallery of posts versus videos and show the juxtaposition between the difference between the mind, body without organs. watch The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Remind me to do that. I just want to see what I was like when I was a little kid. Okay, I think we're gonna go. I have some lotion, but I can put that on in the car. By the way, this is a bag. This is also a bag, okay? Am I talking aggressively? I feel like I'm talking aggressively. To be fair, to be clear, oh, do you guys want to read? We can read a little bit. I brought my phone specifically for this reason. If I can find it. I think I brought it. I did. All right. There's bumblebees here. If I get stung. Oh. Akira! Do you think the residue from conditioners and stuff like that causes dandruff? Because my head didn't feel itchy until my hands are wet. I don't want to get my phone wet. #23. It is not a matter of identifying with various historical personages, but rather identifying the names of history with the zones of intensity on the body without organs. And each time Nietzsche as subject exclaims, "They're me, so it's me." No one has ever been as deeply involved in history as the schizo, or dealt with it in this way. He consumes all of universal history in one fell swoop. We began by defining him as homo natura, and lo and behold, he has turned out to be homo historia. This long road that leads from the one to the other stretches from Hölderlin to Nietzsche, and the pace becomes faster and faster. The euphoria could not be prolonged as in Nietzsche for as long a time as the contemplative alienation of Hölderlin. The vision of the world granted to Nietzsche does not inaugurate a more or less regular succession of landscapes or still lives, extending over a period of 40 years or so. It is rather a parody of the process of recollection of an event. A single actor will play the whole of it in pantomime in the course. The Desiring Machines, 21, of a single solemn day, because the whole of it reaches expression and then disappears once again in the space of just one day, even though it may appear to have taken place between December 31st and January 6th, in a realm above and beyond the usual rational calendar. 24. Chapter 4. A materialist psychology. A materialist psychiatry. The famous hypothesis put forward by the psychiatrist G. de Clarenbolt seems well founded. Delirium, which is by nature global and systematic, is a secondary phenomenon, a consequence of partial and local automatistic phenomena. Delirium is in fact characteristic of the recording that is made of the process of production by the Desiring Machines. And though there are syntheses and disorders, affections that are peculiar to this recording process, as we see in paranoia, and even in the paranoid forms of schizophrenia, it does not constitute an autonomous sphere, for it depends on the functioning and the breakdowns of Desiring Machines. Nonetheless, Clarenbolt uses the term mental automatism to designate only athematic phenomena echolalia. Phenomena echolalia. The uttering of odd sounds or sudden irrational outbursts, which he attributed to the mechanical effects of infections or intoxications. Moreover, he explained a large part of delirium in turn as an effect of automatism. As for the rest of it, the personal part, in his view, it was the nature of a reaction and had to do with character, the manifestations of which might well precede the automatism, as in the paranoid character, for instance. 25. Hence, Clarenbolt regarded automatism, as merely a neurological mechanism in the most general sense of the word, rather than a process of economic production involving Desiring Machines. As for history, he was content merely to mention its innate or acquired nature. Clarenbolt is the Feuerbach of psychiatry, in the sense in which Marx remarks, whenever Feuerbach looks at things as a materialist, there is no history in his works. And whenever he takes history into account, he no longer is a materialist. A true materialist psychiatry can be defined, on the contrary, by the twofold task it sets itself: introducing desire into the mechanism and introducing production into desire. Both very, very important. And I think this is like, what does it mean to create a battery? Like we're talking about bags, right? But like, what does it mean to create endless energy? When we talk about like nuclear energy and stuff like that, a lot of the times these are metaphors for how to maintain a person from breaking down to a point where they don't feel like the system, like, it becomes a point of odds, right? Because for one, the system doesn't take care of people, so they So the battery, even if they have a battery, there is no option but to be pushed out of the system because the system inherently is hostile. At the same time, ideas like nuclear energy and stuff like that are metaphors for what would it mean for a polity or a civilization to have an endless battery source that understands what it means to be part of one organism, one super being, one super... What did I say? Introducing desire into the mechanism and introducing production into desire. Both of these things are important in maintaining the project. And the idea of like educating people on that is seen as grooming. Or, yeah, honestly, because like, yeah. And it is. At the same time, we can't turn back the clock. And the truths that have been discovered and kept secret for such a long time do need to become out to light. Because there is endless energy, but it's kept within the organization. The organization, like I said, there's automatons that go about their life. And their reward is that at the end of the night, they get to go and kill someone. There is no great difference between false materialism and typical forms of idealism. The theory of schizophrenia is formulated in terms of three concepts that constitute its trinary schema: disassociation, Kraepelin, autism, Luller, and space-time, or being in the world, in Swanger. The first of these is an explanatory concept that supposedly locates the specific dysfunction and primary deficiency. Apparently I'm supposed to be reading the Bible right now. And probably, yeah, it should be important, but I'm busy. The first of these is an explanatory concept that supposedly locates the specific dysfunction or primary deficiency. The second, Z2, Anti-Oedipus, is an ideational concept indicating the specific nature of the effect of the disorder. The delirium itself, or the complete withdrawal from the outside world. The detachment from reality, accompanied by a relative or an absolute predominance of the schizophrenic's inner life, of the schizophrenic's inner life. Oh, nice. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Yeah. So that's why I was supposed to be reading the Bible, because I'm supposed to be talking as God and not the schizophrenic. The third concept is a descriptive one. Discovering or rediscovering the delirious person in his own specific world. What is common to these three concepts is the fact that they all relate the problem of schizophrenia to the ego through the intermediary of the body image, the final avatar of the soul. A vague conjoining of the requirements of spiritualism and positivism. The ego, however, is like daddy mommy. The schizo has long since ceased to believe in it. He is somewhere else, beyond or behind or below these problems, rather than immersed in them. And wherever he is, there are problems, insurmountable sufferings, unbearable needs. But why try to bring him back to what he has escaped from? Why set him back amid problems that are no longer problems to him? Why mock his truth by believing that we have paid it its due by merely figuratively taking our hats off to it? There are those who will maintain that the schizo is incapable of uttering the word I, and that we must restore his ability to pronounce this hallowed word. All of which the schizo sums up by saying, "They're fucking me over again. I won't say / anymore. I'll never utter the word again. It's just too damn stupid. Every time I hear it, I'll use the third person instead. If I happen to remember to, if it amuses them, and it won't make one bit of a difference." 26. And if he does chance to utter the word I again, that won't make any difference either. He is too far removed from these problems, too far past them. Jer M Aya Slackjaw Aya Jeremiah It's because, like, it says here, if he does chance to utter the word I again, that won't make any difference either. Even Freud never went beyond this narrow and limited conception of the ego. And what prevented him from doing so was his own tripartite formula, the Oedipal, neurotic one, daddy, mommy, me. We may well ponder the possibility that the analytic imperialism of the Oedipus complex led Freud to rediscover and to lend all the weight of his authority to the unfortunate misapplication of the concept of autism to schizophrenia. For we must not delude ourselves. Freud doesn't like schizophrenics. That's a lie. I love schizophrenics. He doesn't like the resistance to being Oedipalized and tends to treat them more or less as animals. They mistake words for things, he says. They are apathetic, narcissistic, cut off from reality, incapable of achieving transference. They resemble philosophers, an undesirable resemblance. The question as to how to deal analytically with the relationship between drives, pulsions, and symptoms between the symbol and what is symbolized has arisen again and again. In this relationship to be, the desiring machines, 23, considered casual? Or is it a relationship of comprehension, a mode of expression? The question, however, has been posed too theoretically. The fact is, from the moment that we are placed within the framework of Oedipus, from the moment that we are measured in terms of Oedipus, the cards are stacked against us. And the only real relationship, that of production, has been done away with. The great discovery of psychoanalysis was that the production of desire, or the production of the unconscious. But once Oedipus entered the picture, this discovery was soon buried beneath a new brand of idealism. A classical theater was substituted for the unconscious as a factory. Representation was substituted for the unit of production of the unconscious. And an unconscious that was capable of nothing but expressing itself in myth, tragedy, dreams, was substituted for the productive unconscious. Every time that the problem of schizophrenia is explained in terms of the ego, all we do is sample a supposed essence or a presumed specific nature of the schism, regardless of whether we do so with love and pity or disgustedly spit out the mouthful we have tasted. We have sampled him once as a disassociated ego, another time as an ego cut off from the world, and yet again, most temptingly, as an ego that had not ceased to be, who was there in the most specific way, but in his very own world, though he might reveal himself to be a clever psychiatrist. That's it. The idea of bringing the Bible back here sucks. I'm pretty happy with how it went. I think I didn't bring the Bible on purpose. I think like mechanically, like my body just didn't bring it. So, oh my goodness, what is this? That's gonna hurt. Okay. There's a place I want to go, and there's a place I want to be. As I was getting gas, someone parked in the right behind my mother, so I wasn't able to park where I was planning on parking. And I ended up having to park in while we were getting gas, stall number 7. And like I said, I thought I was pretty close to getting to Jeremiah, and then I got interrupted by my mother. So I think maybe that's why I didn't. Oh my goodness, my phone's about to die. Maybe that's why I didn't, where's my keys? With my water bottle, right? Right? Okay. I'm gonna hop. Oh goodness. Alright. My feet are gonna get wet. I mean, dirty. Okay. There's a place I want to go, and there's a place I want to be. Could you fucking chill out? Jesus. I've been cursing a lot. Okay, they're still fishing. That's my peoples, I think. Oh, goodness. Okay. My body without organs. As I said that, I was thinking of the Big Bang Theory, of being judged by a jury of your peers, and then Sheldon's like, "Are you kidding? I have no peers." Which, possibly, Chuck Lorre may have been being kind to me with those. I mean, that show got me through a lot. I've always liked science. Oh, I didn't wash my ass. Fuck. Well, now I can shower. Well, now I can actually wash myself. I have cleaning supplies. My stomach is full. Do you think by the end of Isaiah you just kind of realize the futility of it all? And you just go off and live in the wilderness? I think that's kind of the tragedy of the world, right? Again, going back into like the hostility of capitalism and all of that, like it's just like everything pushes you out. Can you guys see these two pimples? Drive me crazy. Also, I'm a little stressed out that someone's gonna break into my car while I'm away from it. I still have to pee. Oh, let's do the sunset. Yeah, why not? We'll do that. Hopefully 14% battery left. There's a place I want to go, and there's a place I want to be, yeah. Okay. You guys know what time the sunset is today? It's getting close. 7:34 right now. We have about an hour. Do you guys hear how the battery goes? I do not like that at all. It's stressing me out. I'm gonna put you guys to charge for a second. So just stare at the stare at that.
Oh, and of course someone's going to the bathroom at the same time I am. Why wouldn't they? We're here. See all those cars over there? Those are all bags. Oh, he hid. He hid himself. He was about to go out and then he hid. That's funny. All right. I'll be right back. Stay. You guys want to hear him slam the porta potty once I leave? Once I step into it? For a second, I thought I forgot the what did I forget? My keys. All right. My mother had mentioned something about Seminary Hill. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm not really looking forward to. I don't really want to go all the way to Seminary Hill. And if I'm being doubly honest, she said something about staying at Seminary Hill till 2 in the morning. And I'm not planning on getting arrested again. So let's see how this goes, all right? Like, that is not in my things to do, is get arrested once again for trespassing when I don't need to.
I have to change real quick. It's at 2 in the morning, so we have to go until a moment of sadness, I'm assuming. Also, my mother got me these underwear for Christmas, and they're so short. Like it's what you would like. It's like, you know those boxer shorts that women wear that are like really really cute. They're like that, but like for me personally, they're too short. Feels like a thong. Feels like it's riding on my ass. Do you think curse words are just a reaction to the world as it stands? Like I said, I am getting more vulgar. Alright, so 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning. Does that mean that I'm gonna get arrested again? I hope not. Ugh! Ooh, ooh, I hear them crying. Crying, good girls, good girls, good girls, mom. How long have I been live? Whoa, hello. How do you guys like that? Interesting. If I block out the sun for a second, I can't see. Where am I? Oh my goodness. It's a mess. Deal with it, okay? That any better? I don't think so. Good. Sure, why not? Alright. Let's see how our leaves are doing. They're doing. Jeremiah. I'm gonna take the leaves out for a second. We'll just leave them. We'll put them back in there during every reading, but currently relatively annoying, which may be why I'm being called Slackjaw. The words of Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah. Okay, yeah. That thing with with the AI and the Anti-Oedipus, and how I was inspired to say different things at different times, and how the last moment of inspiration was almost like came out of nowhere, the idea of like the slack jaw is kind of how me and the AI have been kind of working together, and kind of like I get like little hints as to what things are going to become. Not to say that it's not hell while I'm doing it, but yeah. Alright, Jeremiah.
The words of Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah, one of the priests living in Anatoth in the territory of Benjamin. The word of the Lord came to him in the 13th year of the reign of Josiah, son of Ammon, king of Judah. It also came throughout the days of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, until the 5th month of the 11th year of Zedekiah, son of Josiah, king of Judah, when the people of Jerusalem went into exile. The call of Jeremiah. The word of the Lord came to me. I chose you before I formed you in the womb. I set you apart before you were born. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. But I protested. Oh no, Lord God. Look, I don't know how to speak since I am only a youth. Then the Lord said to me, do not say, I am only a youth. For you will go out to everyone I send to you and speak whatever I tell you. Do not be afraid of anyone, for I will be with you to deliver you. This is the Lord's declaration. Then the Lord reached out his hand, touched my mouth, and told me, look, I have filled your mouth with my words. See, today I have set you over nations and kingdoms, to uproot and tear down, to destroy and demolish, to build and plant. Remind me to change the name of the video that I titled Doxed to I Am Home, because I think that's a more apt name. To build and plant nights. 2 visions. Then the word of the Lord came to me, asking, what do you see, Jeremiah? And I replied, I see a branch of an almond tree. The Lord said to me, you have seen correctly, for I watch over my words to accomplish it. Again, the word of the Lord came to me, inquiring, what do you see? And I replied, I see a boiling pot, its mouth tilted from the north to the south. Then the Lord said to me, disaster will be poured out, from the north on all who live in the land. Should I say the number of the verses? I wonder what that would sound like. 15. Indeed, I am about to summon all the clans and kingdoms of the north. This is the Lord's declaration. They will come up, and each king will set up his throne at the entrance of Jerusalem's gates. Oh, I was also thinking of the idea of the Salem witch trials, and how that is essentially what this feels like, a witch hunt. Which, I got the inspiration for that from a song that was shown to me from YouTube. Where's my babe? I lost my ring. It's a little funny that my mother didn't let me, didn't allow the gas tank to get to $90. She left it at 85. She's like, yep, this is where we're at right now. They will attack all her surrounding walls and all the cities, and all the other cities of Judah. 16. I will pronounce my judgments against them for all the evil they do, when they abandoned me to burn incense to other gods, and to worship the works of their own hands. 17. Now, get ready. Stand up and tell them everything that I command you. Do not be intimidated by them, or I will cause you to cower before them. Today I am the one who has made you a fortified city, an iron pillar and bronze walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, its officials, its priests, the population. They will fight against you but never prevail over you, since I am with you to rescue you. This is the Lord's declaration. Israel accused of apostasy. Chapter 2. The word of the Lord came to me. 2. Go and announce directly to Jerusalem that this is what the Lord says. I remember the loyalty of your youth, your love as a bride, how you followed me in the wilderness, in a land not sown. Israel was holy to the Lord, the first fruits of his harvest. All who ate of it found themselves guilty. Disaster came on them. This is the Lord's declaration. Hear the word of the Lord, house of Jacob, and all families of the house of Israel. Here's what the Lord says. What fault did your fathers find in me, that they went so far from me, followed worthless idols, and became worthless themselves? 6. They stopped asking, where's the Lord who brought us from the land of Egypt, who led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and ravines, through a land of drought and darkness? B. A land no one traveled through and where no one lived. 7. I brought you to a fertile land to eat its fruit and bounty. But after you entered, you defiled my land. You made my inheritance detestable. Now I was thinking about it earlier today about my father and a conversation we had about plots of land within the at our place in Mexico, and how I wanted him to build a house at the very tippy top of the mountain, of the monte. And then I accused him or rebuked him because I wanted an inheritance. And as I asked him about that, he got silent, and I was just thinking about that. I was thinking of the idea of him thinking, if only you knew what your inheritance was. 8. The priests quit asking, declares the Lord. The experts in the law no longer knew me, and the rulers rebelled against me. The prophets prophesied by Baal and followed useless idols. 9. Therefore, I will bring a case against you. This is the Lord's declaration. I will bring a case against your children's children. Cross over to Cyprus and take a look. Send someone to Gadar and consider carefully. See if there has ever been anything like this. Has a nation ever exchanged its gods? But they were not gods. Yet my people have exchanged their deed, glory, for useless idols. 12. Be horrified at this, heavens. Be shocked and utterly appalled. This is the Lord's declaration. 13. For my people have committed a double evil. They have abandoned me, the fountain of living water, and dug cisterns for themselves, cracked cisterns that cannot hold water. Consequences of apostasy. 14. Is Israel a slave? Was he born into slavery? E. Why else has he become a prey? 15. The young lions have roared at him. They have roared loudly. They have laid waste his land. His cities are in ruins, without inhabitants. 16. The men of Memphis and Tahpanhes have also broken your skull. 17. Have you not brought this on yourself by abandoning the Lord your God while he was leading you along the way? 18. Now what will you gain by traveling along the way of Egypt to drink the waters of the Nile? A. What will you gain by traveling along the way to Assyria to drink the waters of the Euphrates? 19. Your own evil will discipline you. Your own apostasies will reprimand you. Think it over and see how evil and bitter it is for you to abandon the Lord your God and to have no fear of me. This is the declaration of the Lord God of hosts. 20. For long ago, I, B, broke your yoke. I, B, tore off your fetters. You insisted. I will not serve. On every high hill and under every leafy tree, you lie down like a prostitute. I planted you, a choice vine from the very best seed. How then could you turn into a vile, degenerate, foreign vine? 22. Even if you wash with lye and use a great amount of soap, the stain of your guilt is still in front of me. This is the Lord God's declaration. 23. Hello. How can you protest? I am not defiled. I have not followed the Baals. Look at your behavior in the valley. acknowledge what you have done. You are a swift young camel, twisting and turning on her way. 24. A wild donkey at home, see, in the wilderness. She sniffs the weed, she sniffs the wind in the heat of her desire. Who can control her passion? All who look for her will not become tired. They will find her in her mating season. D. Keep your feet from going bare, and your throat from thirst. Oh, 25. Keep your feet from going bare, and your throat from thirst. But you say, it's hopeless. I love strangers, and I will continue to follow them. 26. Like the shame of a thief when he is caught, so the house of Israel has been put to shame. They, their kings, their officials, their priests, and their prophets say to a tree. 27. You are my father, and to a stone you gave birth to me. For they have turned their back to me and not their face. But in their time of disaster they beg, rise up and save us. 28. But where are your gods you made for yourself? Let them rise up and save you in your time of disaster if they can. For your gods are as numerous as your cities, Judah. Judgment deserved. Why did you bring a case against me? Oh, 29. All of you who have rebelled against me. This is the Lord's declaration. 30. I have struck down your children in vain. They would not accept discipline. Your own sword has devoured your prophets like a ravaging lion. 31. Evil generation. Pay attention to the word of the Lord. Have I been a wilderness to Israel, or a land of dense darkness? Why do my people claim we will go where we want? E. We will no longer come to you. 32. Can a young woman forget her jewelry, or a bride her wedding sash? Yet my people have forgotten me for countless days. 33. How skillfully you pursue love. You also teach evil women your ways. 34. Moreover, your skirts are stained with the blood of the innocent poor. You did not catch them breaking and entering. But in spite of all these things, 35, you claim, I am innocent. His anger is sure to turn away from me. But I will certainly judge you, because you have said, I have not sinned. 36. How unstable you are, constantly changing your way. You will be put to shame by Egypt, just as you were put to shame by Assyria. Moreover, you will be led out from here with your hands on your head, since the Lord has rejected those you trust. You will not succeed, even with their help. A. And again, my mother said that I was at Seminary Hill till 2 in the morning, so We're here till 2 in the morn. Do you think me reading out the numbers is like an admittance to the Kabbalistic nature of it all? Or the Bible's admittance to the Kabbalistic nature of it all? I mean, outside of just the idea of spells, the idea of saying I, or something along those lines. But I guess we're arguing again with people, so instead of doing that, let's read a little bit of the book, or read a little bit of Anti-Oedipus. Not because I think this book is like the be-all of it all, but I think the idea of a schizophrenic type of language being useful in situations like this, and I think the medium lends itself to that. A sympathetic super observer, in short, a phenomenologist. Let us remember once again one of Marx's caveats. We cannot tell from the mere taste of wheat who grew it. The product gives us no hint as to the system or the relations of production. The product appears to be all the more specific, incredibly specific, and readily describable. The more closely the theoretician relates to ideal forms of causation causation, comprehension, or expression, rather than the real or the real process of OFP production, on which W. Hitch it depends. Nice, okay. The schizophrenic appears all the more specific and recognizable as a distinct personality if the process is halted, or if it is made an end and a goal in itself. Yeah, I kind of got it. Like, there's something about the Bible that just calms you down to an extent. It also, does the thing, but or the car just turned on and left. Yeah. The schizophrenic appears all the more specific and recognizable as a distinct personality if the process is halted, or if it is made an end and a goal in itself, or if it is allowed to go on endlessly in a void, so as to provoke that horror of extremity wherein the soul and body ultimately perish. 27. Oh yeah, the reason why I couldn't go forward with that is because of the police, I believe. I had to stop reading the Bible at that specific point. And we're getting close to sunset here, so I think we're almost done with this as well. And we're gonna end the live and upload it to YouTube, because there's no way this is fitting on TikTok right now. Yeah. I've been enjoying being live with you guys. The schizophrenic appears all the more specific and recognizable as a distinct personality. If the process is halted, or if it is made an end and a goal in itself, or if it is allowed to go on endlessly in a void, so as to provoke that horror of extremity wherein the soul and body ultimately perish. 27. The autist. Krapolin's celebrated terminal state. But the moment that one describes, on the contrary, the material process of production, the specificity of the product tends to evaporate, while at the same time the possibility of another outcome, another end result of the process appears, before being a mental state of the schizophrenic who has made himself into an artificial person through autism. Schizophrenia is the process of the production of desire and desiring machines. How does one get from one to the other? And is this transition inevitable? This remains the crucial question. Karl Jaspers has. 24. Anti-Oedipus. Given us precious insights on this point, as on so many others, because his idealism was remarkably atypical, contrasting the concept of process with those of reaction formation or development of the personality. He views process as a rupture or intrusion, having nothing to do with an imaginary relationship with the ego. Rather, it is a relationship from the demoniacal in nature. The one thing Jaspers failed to do was to view process as material economic reality, as the process of production where nature equals industry, nature equals history. To a certain degree, the traditional logic of desire is all wrong from the very outset. From the very first step that the Platonic logic of desire forces us to take, making us choose between production and acquisition. From the moment that we place desire on the side of acquisition, we make desire an idealistic, dialectical, nihilistic conception, which causes us to look upon it as primarily a lack of an object, a lack of the real object. It is true that the other side, the production side, has not been entirely ignored. I really like the halo. I really like how the hair looks, okay? Oh, also the train is blaring, so I think, the two visions. That was stupid, I'm sorry. Kant, for instance, must be credited with effecting a critical revolution as regards this theory of desire, by attributing it to it the faculty of being, through its representations, the cause of the reality of the objects of these representations. 28. But it is not by chance that Kant chooses superstitious beliefs, hallucinations, and fantasies as illustrations of this definition of desire. As Kant would have it, we are all well aware that the real object can be produced only by an external causality and external mechanisms. Nonetheless, this knowledge does not prevent us from believing in the intrinsic power of desire to create its own object, if only in an unreal, hallucinatory, or delirious form, or from representing this causality as stemming from within desire itself. Sometimes I forget that there's an outside, and then I think about that Stuart failed to save the universe scene that I keep talking about. It's a good scene. The reality of the object, insofar as it is produced by desire. And it's not produced by desire, it's produced by, again, that thing I said yesterday of, if someone is trying to rape you, an animal would not allow that to happen. And if I am an animal, if the laws of nature are real, then what is happening right now is not a choice. Hence, it can be said that Kant's critical revolution changes nothing essential. This way of conceiving of product. See, it's getting nighttime, so like I'm being reminded that we're about to enter a darker time where I can ignore all the sounds as much as I'd like, but they tend to creep in a little bit closer to the car as night comes. They get more comfortable just walking up to the car, so that's cool. And again, it's a numbers game. It's kind of impossible that every single place I go to, someone walks up to my car and flashes a light into it, outside of this just being an organization that blatantly is showing me that it's there, me getting upset over the fact that it's there, and then continuing going on and progressively getting worse and worse and worse in the closeness that is happening with the organization. And I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. This way of conceiving of productivity does not question the validity of the classical conception of desire as a lack. Rather, it uses this conception as a support and a buttress, and merely examines its implications more carefully. In point of fact, if desire is the lack of the real object, its very nature as a real entity depends upon an essence of lack that produces the fantasized object. Thus, desire conceived of as production, though merely the production of fantasies, has been explained perfectly by psychoanalysis. On the very lowest level of interpretation, this means that the real object that desire lacks is related to an extrinsic natural or social production, whereas desire intrinsically produces an imaginary object that functions as a double of reality, i.e. communism. I added that part, as though there were a dreamed of object behind every real object, or Zionism. Yeah, communism, Zionism, or a mental production. The desiring machines, as behind all real productions. This conception does not necessarily compel psychoanalysis to engage in a study of gadgets and markets in the form of an utterly dreary and dull psychoanalysis of the object. Psychoanalytic studies of packages of noodles, cars, or thingamajigs. But even when the fantasy is interpreted in depth, not simply as an object, but as a specific machine that brings desire itself front and center, this machine is merely theatrical. And the complementarity of what it sets apart still remains. It is now need that is defined in terms of a relative lack or determined by its own object, whereas desire is regarded as what produces the fantasy and produces itself by detaching itself from the object, though at the same time it intensifies the lack by making it absolute. Yeah, this almost feels like it's like Bible study, like after we got done with that chapter, it kind of like condenses it down and like breaks down these ideas in a schizophrenic, spiritual, body without organs explanation of what exactly is going on in the system. A scientific, spiritual, capitalism, critical analysis of capitalism and schizophrenia. That is beautiful. An incurable insufficiency of being, an inability to be that is life itself. Hence the presentation of desire as something supported by needs, while these needs and their relationship to the object as something that is lacking or missing continue to be the basis of productivity of desire, theory of an underlying support. In a word, when the theoretician reduces desiring production to a production of fantasy, he is content to exploit to the fullest the idealist principle that defines desire as a lack. That rather than a process of production, of industrial production, Clement Rosset puts it very well. Every time the emphasis is put on a lack that desire supposedly suffers from as a way of defining its object, the world acquires as its double some other sort of world, in accordance with the following line of argument. There is an object that desire feels the lack of. My wife. Hence, the world does not contain each and every object that exists. There is at least one object missing. At least. The one that desire feels the lack of. Hence, there exists some other place that contains the key to desire, missing in this world. 29. If desire produces, its product is real. If desire is productive, It can be productive only in the real world and can produce only reality. Desire is the set of passive syntheses. ES, yeah, that engineer partial objects, flows, and bodies. And that function function as units of production. The real is the end product, the result of the passive synthesis of desire as auto-production of the unconscious. Desire does not lack anything. It does not lack its object. It is, rather, the subject that is missing in desire, or desire that lacks a fixed subject. There is no fixed subject unless there is repression. Desire and its object are one and the same. The machine, as a machine of a machine. Desire is a machine, and the object of desire is another machine connected to it. Hence, the product is something removed or deducted from the process of producing. Between the act of producing and the product, something becomes detached, thus giving the vagabond, nomad subject, a residuum, the objective being of desire. 2R, Anti-Oedipus. Alright, fine. Two types of mourning, two visions of mourning here, alright? But I do enjoy talking to you guys. Okay, I gotta, oh, there's that chick again, watching the sunset. Can you see her? You can't even see anything. Nope. Alright. Alright, guys. You guys have a good rest of your whatever. I'll be back in a little bit. And probably will be reading Anti-Oedipus. I'm really enjoying that book. Mostly I'm enjoying being, like, trying, like, it's nice to, it feels like I'm having a debate with myself. Or it feels like I'm having a voice in things, and like, because a lot of times when I'm thinking by myself, and I don't really get the opportunity to do this anymore, but when I used to make a lot of videos a day, like 30 videos a day, I would lay down, and I would just think, and I would argue with myself. And it's kind of cool to kind of show you guys the types of, like, processes that go through my head, and then the arguments that I have back and forth within myself. I don't have the words, those types of words within me, but nature, well, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy it, and I like showing you guys, and I like talking to you guys. I probably wouldn't read that by myself. I think this medium allows me to engage. So, yeah. All right. See you guys in a little bit. Bye.